The Cincinnati Bengals, we mentioned them. I think, will be fine, but this was not the way they expected to get things started. Raucous crowd at Cincinnati. The tickets are sold out. Everybody's on board with the idea that the Bengals' performance last year was not a fluke, was not an aberration, and then they have one of these days where they have to ask themselves, was it really a fluke? 4 interceptions from Joe Burrow, a career high, 7 sacks. Now, there were still glimmers of hope. They came back from the big deficit. I think they will be fine. If you ever want to catch an offensive line with 80% turnover, week 1 is the time to do it.
Yep.
And the Steelers have the guys to take advantage of it. I think they'll be fine. I really do. And, hell, they may be able to go into Pittsburgh for the rematch and win that one. This is one of those week 1 games, even though I say all the time, the only teams that should really be a little panicky after week 1 are the teams that lose at home to a division rival. This is the one time I'm going to say, don't worry about it. Bengals are going to be fine.
Well, there are exceptions to every rule, of course. But you know what? I would look at this and I would go back to kind of what I was saying earlier about Pittsburgh's defense and the continuity that they have versus Cincinnati and what they're trying to do. Now, 7 sacks, frankly, to me, still a little bit concerning. And, you know, every sack tells its own story. And sometimes it's Joe Burrow's hanging onto the ball too long. Other times the tackles are getting blown by like they're not there. You know, other times it's a coverage sack and things could happen or they're not happening or what have you. But whenever you've invested as much money and, you know, personnel turnover as the Bengals have up front, you don't want to see your quarterback that you know you're going to have to pay an astronomical amount of money to probably next offseason get hit that many times when that was one of the primary reasons that you didn't win the Super Bowl, right? So again, like the Steelers come in there, they have the continuity. The Bengals come in there, they don't have the continuity. They did not play together as an offensive line unit during the preseason. Again, I understand why Zach Taylor does that. It makes perfectly good sense to me. You want those guys for 18 weeks, not just 1 week, what have you. But yeah, you don't want to see Joe Burrow get sacked that many times. And the Steelers are going to do that to people. They do that to pretty much everybody. It's been the story of them for I don't know how long, at least basically since I've been alive. But at the same time, that's a division rival. It's a team that you're going to see later. So you want to be able to protect Burrow better than you did in this game on Sunday.
And they will. They will. It can't be worse than it was last year. And I suspect that the 5 guys who were blocking last year would have given up 7 sacks, maybe more, against the Steelers on Sunday. And look, they found a way to color within the lines last year. They found a way to win, even with the leaky offensive line. Never mind the fact that if Aaron Donald hadn't gotten to Joe Burrow, Burrow would have seen Jamar Chase wide open, Jalen Ramsey fell down, and yada, yada. Nobody needs to hear that anymore, especially if you're a Bengals fan. But let's... I just think they will be fine. This was one of those days where, and maybe the Bengals organization wasn't sufficiently on guard for it, although they've seen this movie before. They've lived this nightmare before. They know what it's like when you think that, well, I don't know, they lost the game. Maybe they were completely ready and there wasn't a damn thing they could do about it. But they know that this Steelers team is always dangerous, and they are no more dangerous than when they are widely viewed as being not dangerous.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.